is Tresa Jackson, and I am with the Department of Veteran Affairs out of the federal building at Iveland and Al Jorgensen. Today we'll be talking to you about VA benefits. Okay, these are some of the assistances that we provide our veterans. We have federal benefits, that's me. We have state, Department of Veteran Affairs, they're here today. You have the county service officers, they are also here today. And you have service organizations, such as the American Legion, VFW, VAD, and Power of Attorney. We recommend that your service members contact their service officer and have one of them to represent them if they're going to process a claim in the VA. Okay, I want to talk about our benefits programs. These are all the benefit programs that we have. We have disability compensation, vocational rehabilitation, education entitlement, VA home loan program, medical and dental benefits, insurance, burial, and survival benefits. Two of the ones that I want to talk about is disability compensation. That's for any injury that a veteran incurred while serving over in the theater, or a pre-existing injury or illness that he had prior to coming into the military that was reactivated, we call it aggravated, or something that happened after service, but it was presumed to happen from service. And we'll explain those to you a little bit. These are the definitions of what I was talking about, the disability compensation, residual disability, aggravated, and presumed. Do you have any questions on those? Okay. If your veteran comes back and he has ringing in his ear, it's like tinnitus from hearing explosives or loud noises, vehicles, things of that nature, he may suffer from having what we call tinnitus, which is 10% service-connected, and if it's service-connected through the VA, he will get a check for $115 a month, okay? And that's tax-free, and that's a good thing.
That's for life too, isn't it?
For life. Yes, it is. Okay. We're going to talk about post-traumatic stress a little bit. Post-traumatic stress disorder, that comes from a life-threatening event, combat or war trauma, sexual trauma. We have counseling available. You can go to the Vet Center, or you can go to the VA Medical Center. We have counseling available for the veteran and his spouse. Okay. If you notice when your warrior returns that they have some behaviors such as waking up in the middle of the night, crying spells, or just jumping up for no reason, they may be suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. So you need to be the eyes and ears for that, and you need to let us know if they need some help. We'll give you some contact numbers and things of that nature. These are some programs that we have for survivors. Out of these programs, I want to talk about the home loan guarantee. The most, you can read them for yourself, but I'm going to talk about the home loan guarantee because that's a program that has a benefit for the warrior to buy a home if he doesn't own a home already. And what you need to do is come fill out some paperwork to get a VA home loan certificate. It will allow you to purchase a home without having to put money out your pocket. You're still going to have good credit, and you're still going to have to qualify through a lender. But with the home loan certificate, usually you get it approved. And it allows you to buy the home without putting any money down or paying any closing costs. Okay? So you might want to take advantage of that. You used to have to be in the service 180 days in order to qualify for that program. But now that the veteran has been in a combat zone for over 90 days, he automatically qualifies for that program, or she qualifies for that program. CHAMP VA medical insurance, if the veteran is 100% service connected, then that's a benefit for the dependents. And I'm not going to go into all of them, but these are some benefits that are available should you need those services. Okay, now that concludes my briefing. You'll see on the slide, it says Mr. Dwayne Kemp, Department of Veteran Affairs, Operation Iraqi, Operation Enduring Freedom Coordinator. That is now me, Tresa Jackson. Dwayne Kemp is the manager now of the program, and whenever I'm not briefing the debriefs, you can certainly call him at that number if you have any questions. That's the 1-800 number, but the number directly to his desk is the 612-970 number. I have some business cards outside. My number is the same, 612-970. 5377 is the last four. And that number is directly to our desk. We will take your calls. We do answer our phone, and we do answer your questions. Because we at the VA want to make sure that you're getting the care that you need, and we want to help you as much as we can. If you have a veteran that's injured or suffering with some type of condition that he needs to be service connected for. You're going to hear from 3 other presenters today. You're going to hear from Diane Peterson from the VA Medical Center. You're going to hear from Jennifer Iveson from the St. Paul Vet Center. And you're going to hear from your very own State Benefit Advisor, Iveland and Al Jorgensen. Okay? So you're going to get a lot of information, and out of all of this information, if you don't do anything else, make sure you got a phone number and a point of contact. And know that we are here to help you. We want to thank you for allowing your warriors to serve our country. And if you're one of our warriors, we want to thank you for serving our country. Are there any questions for me? Okay, well, thank you. I'll be followed by Diane Peterson from the VA Medical Center.
So I am that point of contact sheet set to go away with today if you don't go away with anything else. And that's my name and phone number on the board there. So, VA Medical Center. Used to be that, more than 10 years ago, people didn't think that we were the place to go to get health care. So that's really changed a lot in the last 10 years. We've become recognized by a number of places and facilities as being very high regarded as far as the healthcare goes. So don't let previous preconceptions dissuade you from getting your, encouraging your soldier to get enrolled in the VA system. VA-wide, we have about 154 medical centers. We have community-based clinics. We've got about 5.3 million patients currently, 57.5 million clinic visits a year. So we've got a lot of people coming through our doors getting care, and we take pretty good care of them. So we also have this award-winning electronic medical record, and that is one of the big reasons to get enrolled in the VA, because if you are enrolled in one VA and you end up moving or on a trip and you get seen at another VA, we can see your medical history from wherever you are, okay, because it's VA-wide. So that is a great thing about our system. And the little last flip there is just about how the VA gets split up into different sections. So you are in the Midwest Healthcare Network. At the Minneapolis VA, we have a number of different services we provide. We've got primary and specialty care. Primary care is like seeing just a regular doctor in the clinic. Specialty care would be like seeing orthopedics, neurology. We've got lots of different services that you can get at Minneapolis. We've got a polytrauma unit. There are 4 polytrauma units nationwide, and Minneapolis is one of them. We are also getting a spinal cord injury facility. They're breaking ground in May and hope to have that completed by 2008. We've got plenty of mental health and substance abuse care. We've got extended care and rehab, and that's kind of between hospital and nursing home, so just needing a little more inpatient care. We've got, again, the outpatient clinics, and we currently have about 3,500 OIF, OEF enrolled, and about 1,750 of those are getting care through the VA. The difference in the numbers is that some people don't think that they need to get any care right now, so they're just enrolled so that if at some point they need care, they're already enrolled, so they'll be able to just call up and get an appointment then. Okay? So, enrolling, there's this 2-year window after you've been in combat that you can get enrolled in the VA with no questions asked, okay? And it's important to get enrolled in 90 days if you need some dental care, okay? Because there's that 90-day window of time that you can get your dental benefits. Veterans that have been in combat are given priority for their scheduled appointments. And again, we already talked a little bit about that too. They might feel fine now, but something might show up later. So that's why we really encourage everybody to get enrolled so that they're in the system and they can get an appointment later than if they need to. We think that VA healthcare is the best care anywhere, again, because a lot of people are veterans, but there's also a lot of training that happens so that we know what's been going on with them in theaters so that we can take care of them for those things when they get back. So we were talking about this enrollment. There's a 1010 EZ form that needs to get filled out, and that's what they're going to get it from McCoy to fill out. And like Tresa mentioned, maybe if they didn't do it legibly or they missed something that they have to do to get it filled out and get enrolled, they might see a new one coming to them in the mail saying it's not complete. So it's the 1010 EZ, the DB214, that's all we need to get them enrolled into the system. This line is incorrect. Once you're enrolled, that doesn't mean you're automatically going to get an appointment. You need to call in if you want an appointment, okay? Unless you pre-discussed with somebody like me, the point of contact saying, okay, I need care, once I'm enrolled, can I get an appointment? As soon as you're enrolled, then I'll put in a consult so that you get an appointment. Okay. Otherwise, the vet will need to call in. Appointments typically are scheduled within 30 days, like I mentioned, and if there's something urgent, they can get seen that day. So, encourage them to get enrolled. Again, contact your CDSO if you need help, and stay in contact with our VA resources that are available. We do have a couple numbers. These will be on your little disc. I do have paper forms in the back if you want them on paper. This is the general Minneapolis VA number. This is for eligibility, so if you're unsure if you got enrolled or you're unsure of your benefits, you can call Daryl Gooding at this number. This is the number to schedule that appointment. So if you're enrolled now and you want an appointment to be seen, call this number. This is these two numbers, well, it's the same number for mental health. That's just a point of contact person that you can talk to. Because there are different pieces of mental health, like PTSD and addictive disorder. She can help with that. And then this is somebody that used to do these presentations, but now it's me, and my name and number are over there. So if you have any kind of question regarding any of these issues, feel free to give me a call and I'll help you out.
I have a question on the CBSO.
Yep.
Any particular one I should be working with? And I've got a son
There
that's
is
coming
one
back.
for your county and.
Which county? He's a student in one county, and we live in a different county, and so.
I think any of them.
Could you make contact with both?
Does it matter?
You can go to anyone, usually they go by home of record for the veteran, but you can go to any of them.
I mean, in that case, he's 6 hours apart from home of record, so it's you can
Yeah,
see
so then
somebody.
you
it's
should go
hard.
to the one that's closest to him. That's most convenient.
Any other questions? Not to let Jennifer go, and I'm not gonna be gone, so if you come up with something, I'll be glad to answer later.
Okay, thanks. My name is Jennifer Iveland, and I'm from the Vet Center. And when people hear Vet Center, a lot of times they think VA hospital. But what we do is actually a bit different. We're part of the VA system, but our mission is separate. The VA Medical Center handles the medical care. They have a lot of behavioral health resources. But what we do at the Vet Center is readjustment counseling for war veterans. Inside each of your brochure folders, there's a pamphlet with all of our information, so you've already got it. We started in 1979 to service Vietnam veterans who were having a hard time making the transition back to civilian life. And you guys probably know there are still Vietnam vets out there who haven't made that transition yet. So we're trying to catch our new veterans to make sure they know about what services we offer. Our specialty is really combat trauma. So troops that have been in dangerous places, that had dangerous missions, sometimes they come home, they may have problems sleeping, nightmares, hypervigilance, which is that always being on guard, always on the lookout, some jumpiness, anger, irritability, things like that that are actually normal for that type of experience, but they're really uncomfortable. So we help our vets kind of process that so they can feel more comfortable back home, wherever that may be. We do a lot of relationship counseling, because you know a long deployment is not easy on relationships. And we have a really broad definition of family, so we'll see vets with their parents, their spouses, their girlfriends, boyfriends, fiancés, children, whoever it may be. If that person is important to that veteran, we can see them together to kind of help them reconnect after deployment, maybe give them some tips on communicating after that long separation. We do substance abuse information and referral, because we'll see vets who come home and say, you know, I'm having a hard time sleeping, or I don't feel like I'm fitting in back at school, whatever it may be, and they may start drinking. And then they say, you know, this isn't working, this isn't what I intended. And we can see vets for that reason. We see a lot of veterans too who come home, not necessarily, they don't ask for services for combat trauma, but they come back and they have this really profound experience that not a lot of people in the community have. And some of them say, I feel like I'm kind of the only one out there. Especially after coming off active duty and they leave their military family, or coming back to a state like Minnesota where there's not a strong military component or military treatment facility nearby. So we'll see a lot of them who are just saying, I feel like, you know, I'm kind of the only one out there. I don't have that military connection that I used to have, and I'd like to talk to somebody about my experiences. We do sexual trauma counseling, so if someone was assaulted or harassed while on duty, we can see them for that. We can help with benefits. So if they're seeing us and they have a question about filing a claim for that knee injury or back injury or whatever it may be, we can assist them with that and help them get into the VA. And all these things are absolutely free for life. We also do bereavement counseling for families who lost a soldier in the line of duty. I say soldier because I'm a soldier, a troop. All of these services are free for life for vets who have served in a combat zone. There's never any charge. There's no copay. We don't mess with insurance. It's just flat out free. The only thing we ever need is a DD-214, which is that discharge paper that shows wartime service. Yes, sir.
If you prescribe medicine, is that covered?
We actually don't prescribe medicine at the vet center. We have psychologists and social workers. If they do need a referral to like a psychiatrist, we can make that referral to the VA. And if they're enrolled there, prescriptions are $8 a month. It's really cheap, really cheap. So we don't do psychiatric care at the vet centers. The other really cool thing about the vet centers is that most of our staff are veterans, which is really nice because we get it. I'm a vet. I spent a year in Iraq. I'm on my way back from my second tour. It's really nice that our vets and their families have somewhere to come where we get the military. You know, they don't have to explain military rank and structure to us for an hour. They don't have to explain the unique culture of the military, because the military is a very unique culture. It's really nice to have somewhere to come where we get the military perspective. We keep storefront kind of places. We're part of the VA system, the hospital's kind of system, but we keep separate offices that are storefront kind of places that are really easy to access. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the VA in Minneapolis. It's really a tremendous facility. I use it myself, but it's huge. It's a really big place, and it can be kind of overwhelming. So we keep kind of storefront places that are easy to access. Vets can walk right in. If they come in to see us, we will see them that day. There won't be a wait for an appointment. If they call and want to set something up, we'll see them right away. The other really neat thing is that there's no session limits. There are some other great resources out there today. I don't want to take anything away from them, but some of them do have session limits. And we will see the veteran until they're satisfied. A big thing about vet centers that our vets really appreciate too is our confidentiality policy. We are so strict about confidentiality because we know our vets don't always have an easy time asking for the kind of services we provide. We tell them, unless they give us written consent to release information, we're not telling anybody they have been to see us, because we've got a lot of people who come in and want to continue their military service. And they say, gosh, you know, I'm concerned about my flight status, or I'm concerned about my security clearance. I don't want my unit to know that I'm getting these kind of services. They cannot call and ask if they're being seen. We won't even confirm that that person is being seen there. The only exception is, of course, if they say they're going to hurt themselves or somebody else, of course we have to notify the authorities. But other than that, we don't release any information without written consent. So keep us in mind, we've got over 200 vet centers throughout the country. We're adding about 23 more. There's at least one in every state. In this area, we've got them in St. Paul, Duluth, Sioux Falls, Madison, Fargo, but we know not everybody can get to those areas. They may live a ways away from the Twin Cities. So what we've done is set up contract fee providers who can provide vet center services at local facilities. We've got them all throughout the state. In fact, we've got one right here in Rochester. So if a veteran's interested and they say, I'm interested in what the vet center has to offer, but I live in Marshall, or I live in Mankato, or whatever it may be, they can just call us up and we can get them set up to be seen at one of those providers for free. So keep us in mind, if your vet comes home and they have questions about what services maybe are available to them. These services are available for life. There's also no expiration date, so it doesn't matter if they come to see us a month after they get home or 10 years. Of course, we'd like to see them sooner rather than later, but it doesn't matter. They're always eligible because they've served in the combat zone. So does anybody have any questions for me about what we offer at the vet center? Yes?
Well, just a question as a parent, are you seeing the drug and alcohol? Is that, he wasn't into any of that when
Right.
he left, not that he would be, but
Right.
is that a red flag or?
Yeah, that's something really to watch out for. And I always tell people, some people, they say, oh, my vet got home, they're just having fun and they're out partying or whatever. But that's something that can get out of control really quickly. And sometimes the family notices it before the vet notices it as a
Does there seem
problem.
to be a lot concerning this?
I don't even, I hate to say because I don't even know numbers wise. We have a substance abuse counselor at the vet center. Numbers wise, I honestly couldn't tell you, like percentage wise, what we're seeing and stuff. Most of the vets we see are coming in for things like anger and irritability, family stuff. They're getting back into school and they're not feeling like they're fitting back in at school, or things aren't going well at work. Those really normal readjustment kind of things. So I wish I could tell you percentage wise or numbers wise, but
I think that's any parents.
right. And I would say if that's something that does become a concern for you, that's something that's better addressed sooner rather than later.
Well, because I know about a young man who served 3 tours of duty in Iraq, 24, and has had 2 DWIs. And, and one, having one, some intervention should have happened, but 2, and here's this precious young man, and now he can't drive, and, what do you do for somebody like that? So that is a legitimate concern, and with my own son, and I think anybody who has, it's true, and so what can we do? When do we, stand back because they're adults, but when do we, step in and intervene?
Yeah, because a lot of that too is, I'm home from war, I'm 10 feet tall, nothing can touch me. I survived a year in the combat zone. I'm going to go out and drive like a maniac or something, or they've been driving crazy for a year just because they had to. So a lot of that can come into play too. So, any other questions for me about what we offer? Okay, I'm going to have Al talk a little bit about some additional benefits.
Is everybody signed in?
No.
No?
My name is Jen. I can give you a card.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Alan Jorgensen. I'm the Transition Assistance Advisor. I work for the Minnesota National Guard on the reintegration team. And you've just heard 3 briefings on some of the benefits the VA has to offer, from the VA benefits and also VA Benefits Administration, the Health Administration, and also the Vet Center. What I want to do is just kind of summarize everything and tell you how they kind of work together. Starting off with VA medical, what's going to happen with the soldiers coming back? They're going to go to McCoy. They're going to be kind of captive there, and we're going to put them in a room and lock them in a room, and they're going to fill out these 1010EZ forms, and that with their DD-214 is going to go off to the respective VA medical center, whether it's Minneapolis or Sioux Falls or St. Cloud or wherever it goes. Now, the goal is 100%, and I'm pretty confident that 100% of the soldiers are going to fill out this form. During the process of getting to the VA medical centers, human error and some other things, maybe it might not be 100%. So what I'm asking families to do, if it's been 30 days they've been home, they did not receive that letter that Diane was talking about, give somebody a call. Okay, call up and find out what's going on. If Daryl Gooding or myself or or even Diane, whoever, find out what's going on. Worst case scenario, they have to fill out that front page with a 1010 and send it off again. The importance of it is that 90 days you start losing benefits, and the big one is dental. And let me tell you a little story. When I came off of active duty, I was deployed with the South Dakota unit. Yeah, thank you. And I was playing catch with my son. He wanted to be the pitcher, and he's throwing all these wild pitches. I'm like, all right, just aim for my head. That's all you have to do. Aim for my head. And while he did, and I wasn't paying attention, I caught it right in the mouth. And luckily, I was still covered for the VA, and I enrolled. And I didn't realize the importance of it, so it was just kind of by chance that I was enrolled. And basically, I got a crown. I don't know how much that cost. He said like $2,000. Then 8 months later, my root canal just died. I was just in agony. And I went to the VA, and they're like, "Well, come back. Well, schedule appointment 3 weeks from now. Come back then." And I went home, and it still hurt me. Next day, I called them up. I'm like, "I'm in pain. You got to do something." All right, come back in. They did the root canal right there, right then and there. But you have to enroll within the 90 days. That's why it's very, very important. And also, there's soldiers that go off and go to they do it backward. They go to the civilian dentist and they get the work done, and then they go to the VA and say, "Pay this bill." And it's a sad day when you have to tell a soldier that bill's on you. You know, there's nothing we can do. So make sure it's imperative that they get enrolled with that 1010 and families ask for help following up with that as well. So another thing, the VA benefits section. Keep in mind this is two different animals, the Benefits Administration and the VA Health Administration. Enrolling in the VA Health Administration and getting treated for tendinitis or lower back pain or knee injury, that doesn't get you the service connected. Okay, you can be treated for 2 years or whatever for that connection, but you have to go to the VA benefits section, fill out the paperwork, and get that rated as service connected disability. Once you get it rated as service-connected disability, that whole 2 years co-pay, that's out the window. Until that injury gets better, 100% better, the VA is going to own that. So, and like the tendinitis example, stick with that. That's just, it probably will not get better. So you'll receive that $150 until it gets better, or the veteran dies 50 years from now. So, but you have to go and seek out these benefits. They're great benefits. The veteran has to go out and seek these benefits. I know we talk about how you raise the questions, why should the burden be on them to enroll? It is.
So what you're just telling us is just make sure your kid does it.
Follow the right procedures and do it the way that it's supposed to be done, and that eliminates 95% of the problem.
Well, our county Veterans Affairs officer, they know what to do if we take our kids and we say, okay, here you are, get them enrolled in whatever it is, however you got to do it, write down every OWI that you got over there, and
yeah, and
I don't mean to say it sarcastically.
They will, and the county veteran service officers, they're out in the communities, and a lot of times they even know the soldiers. They go to the armory and they visit with them, and they're a very good one-stop shop, and they work with these benefits all the time. However, you do not have to go to county veteran service officer. You can go to the American Legion, probably has somebody. The VFW might have somebody. But do not fill out that long 10-page form by yourself. Okay, have somebody help you with it. Have somebody be your advocate, because they do it every day. They know how to word things. You know, it's all how you word it, put it down, whether or not the claim can be adjudicated in your favor or not. So get some help, but you do have to do that. And vice versa, if you fill in a claim and get 10% rated for lower back pain or whatever, you're receiving the money. Just because you did that does not mean that you can go to VA and get care. You have to enroll. But they work very well together, but you have to follow the rules. There might be a lot of uncertainties. Am I eligible? What am I eligible for? The whole purpose of these weekend academies is to kind of expose, the family of the benefits available, not to make you experts, because you get a lot of information today. It's just take down Diane's name or Tresa's or myself or Jennifer's name and contact information. Let us do the research. Let us worry about coming up with your answers. So you just give us a call. If we don't know right off the bat, you go back, go about your business, go shopping or whatever. We'll get back to you with your answers. So. Also, what I have, these are on the table outside the hallway. And 3 brochures I put together. My contact information is plastered all over the bottom of it. And down the line, I'm being activated again as well. So the number is going to stay the same. So if you call the number, somebody else answers the phone, it's not me, they'll be able to help you. One of them talks about 10 reasons why to choose care at the VA, and it kind of goes over a lot of what Diane said. Another one is 10 reasons why you should file a VA disability claim if you feel that the veteran or the veteran feels that his injuries are from combat or active duty. It doesn't have to be from combat, from active duty, or in prior injury that was aggravated. And then also, I don't know if any of your soldiers re-enlisted while you're overseas, but I know there's a lot of people re-enlisting for a huge $20,000 re-enlistment bonus is tax-free. And the soldier comes home and they see disability, just throws up a red flag. I am not going to claim a disability that's going to put my whole career in jeopardy. I might have to pay this money back. It's simply not the case. And, I'm service connected for injuries I sustained in Iraq. Since I've been back, I've been promoted twice. I've done military school. I got a re-enlistment bonus. I'll be working on that. But you know, my whole point is you can continue with your career. You know, if they want to, get promotions, go to school, and retire, get retirement pay, and still be service connected disability. So don't let that be an excuse to turn down your benefits, because that lower back or that knee or that shoulder might just give them a little problem right now, so it might not be a big deal. 10 years from now, it might be a huge deal, and they need that service connected rating, and they need to get the government to own up to the injury and compensate them for tax-free money if it's rated over or 10% or more. Need surgery 10 years from now, they'll be able to take care of it. So make sure, encourage your soldier or veteran to visit somebody and get those forms filled out and be proactive to go out and reach benefits.